Looks like I need to restart Arena to get it captured in the window here. Had a install Arena problem. So suddenly I didn't have a game to play there. All right, let's get some audio. Let's see, a couple of things. Great God, has a good question there. I just wanted to. Somebody asked what a punt is. It comes from American football, in which the point of that game is to try and advance the ball 10 yards in 4 tries. And generally, if you haven't accomplished that by your 3rd try, rather than risk it and give the ball to your opponent in a really good spot on the field, you can do a play called a punt, which is to, instead of try to advance the ball to that mark, you give the ball to the opponent, but you give it to them much farther away, right? So it's basically deferring. So a punt is a deferral, and not a good one. It usually means like we didn't reach our goal, but we're trying to mitigate the failure here with a punt. That's literally what a punt is in football. And so then applied to Magic, it's just an actual mistake in a game. It's used as a mistake. But I also used it in the context of. I had said at the end of the air yesterday that I had a big announcement today, but I had to punt that announcement to Monday. So that was the context I used the word punt in, which is to say defer, delay. The game's not over yet, but I need to try again later, is what punting often means in colloquial English. Good time zone to you, Fiddles. Welcome. And then Great God Ohm asks about the EV breakdown, which you can still check out if you go to the spreadsheet. I'm a little behind on the spreadsheet. It's been a busy week, but I'll get that caught up on this weekend. My family's out of town right now, so I'm just, it's me and the dog, and a lot of chores. Draconis, welcome. Good time zone. Let's see. So we are on the free-to-play account right now, and we ended the day yesterday on. Oh, sorry, the spreadsheet. I didn't finish answering Great God's question though. The math on the spreadsheet is still correct. Hey, Bode, thank you so much for the resub. And there was a sub up there I didn't properly thank. Yankovic, thank you. Appreciate that. Anyway, the math in the spreadsheet regarding event EV is still correct in terms of gems in, gems out. It was already coming up short in terms of not expressing how much a player could earn over time through the gold grind, because every day you're getting about 1,250 gold. So every 4 days you're getting a free draft, and based on your win percentage in those drafts, you can calculate, the gems you can expect from that and kind of add it on. So the math isn't incorrect. It just doesn't tell the whole story. And so now there's 2 kind of pieces to the story to add to the math in the spreadsheet, which is what you're going to pile on in terms of daily grind and what you can grind in terms of gems if you get to 4x, which we're very close to on this account. Yesterday we did a stipulation draft to close out the day on kind of the throwaway 3rd account where we can be goofy. And there are still games left to play there, but I think I'll save those to either close out the day. We'll finish the day with those. They'll either gap us to noon, or I'll go past noon and we'll finish off with them. So I'll definitely play those today, but I think we should start today here. Although what are the formats today? Anything changed today? I guess it's not a change day, is it? traditional. Ranked draft guilds of round. Oh yeah, that's new. It was sealed before, so we could do. We could also do GRN if we wanted to do that. I'd be up for that. This account does not have 4x of GRN, but because GRN is a set that's not rotating in the fall, I'm totally willing to put gold into doing a format that doesn't rotate in the fall and potentially even closing that out. Let's take a quick look at how this account is doing on its guild set. The paid account has a 4x of guilds, but I'd like to get this account to be kind of 4x of everything and try and move forward as a free, kind of trying to build a free-to-play 4x account, really, if we can keep our win rate up. But let's see, let's go, oops, not that. We want to go into the filters. We're going to look at rares, mythic rares from guilds, these, and then it was quantity less than 4. Actually, let's look at one rarity at a time. It's a little easier. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is pretty far off. We may get there over time through drafts coming back, but this account, we did a lot of, I think this account ran out of funds in the middle of GRN, and we switched to paid while we were rebuilding a bit on free-to-play. So in this case, I would say we can still do it, but if we do we won't rare draft as heavily, because I don't know if this account's going to get a 4 of, so we probably would, if we do it, we probably just wouldn't rare draft heavily, because I don't think this is going to be, I would rather save these wild cards to help us 4x War when it comes out, War of the Spark, rather than looking backward to 4x this set, even though it doesn't rotate. But yeah, we're pretty far off. Okay, just wanted to check that. Given that, yeah, we are Zvazda, but my buddy Zach says free-to-play account is rich, must be running hot. We are. You can check the spreadsheet there on that front too. We've really been running hot in the sense of like avoiding O2s and O1s in traditional. Like if you can, like we had a 1-2 recently that was like the first time in a while I think this account has failed to cash in traditional. And when you can at least keep cashing, it's even for the 800, even though that's like only half of your gems back, with the grind that's going on and the gem grind going on between gold and rare drafting, you can really close that gap, which is what we're doing. So given that, I'm enough yammering. Let's play some Magic, and I'll pull it to you guys to figure out whether you want to do some ranked GRN here or traditional RNA. I think that's going to be our choice. Actually, while you vote, I'm going to go grab a soda. Be right back. Yeah, we're going to finish that rare draft today, but it's going to be the tail end of the day, I think. Well, could not be more clear than that, huh? Oh, I got to open up Deckmaster, see how that... It's post-update Deckmaster. That's often a problem for these extensions. Understandably, they're not coordinating with Wizards in terms of having their stuff work with the latest update right out of the gate every time. But they're both up. We'll see. I haven't spun today, so let's spin that. Ooh, gross. This is the worst one. last pick quest, the 500 play 25 lands. Easy teasy, do you have a calculation in your spreadsheet that tells you the win percentage of each color or color pair? No, I haven't gotten that deep. You could probably work that calculation if you wanted to, but I always felt like that kind of data, first, is so biased towards my own drafting style and so small sample size that I'm not sure what I would be getting out of that data if I put in the work to generate it. Okay, chat was pretty clear that we are drafting Ranked Draft Guilds of Ravnica today. We have a couple of gold drafts banked in this free-to-play account where we have only spent the $5 on the welcome bundle, and we're close to half the gems of a $100 gem purchase. So we basically have $50 worth of gems banked in the free-to-play account. Feels good, man. And let's bank some more, because these are free gems right here. We're not going to do any rare drafting because this account is far enough behind on Guilds of Ravnica rares that we're not really going to 4X it probably before it rotates out of our lives in a year and a few months. So we'll just we'll play for power here. So we'll be taking this Price of Fame, no brainer. How are we doing on Deckmaster? Is Deckmaster gonna allow people to vote? I miss voting. Draft view though. Still no. All right, taking the price though. I love the takedown as a follow-up. Maybe we'll wheel the meme. If not the meme, maybe the land. And you know I'm happy. Price of Fame into Artful Takedown. Mwah. It's not the... Okay, so what do we do here? We can take... it's kind of like Splash Time here. We could take the Gorgon, and it's fine. It would or even the Muse Drake. Like, both of these are playable in this deck, but I want to go for power here and either take the Command the Storm on the possible red splash or just a general Grixis-type strategy, or we can take Status Statue, and at least Status is playable in Dimir, even if we get no ability to splash the statue. But if we pick up the Golgari Gates to cast the statue, I think we'll be really happy. So we're going to take this, and I hope to splash it, but I'd even, if necessary, run it as a status only, but we want to find a way to splash the statue side of that. Here's a Sizzle, also saying, hey... but with a Notion Rain, I think we just stick to the plan here. Sizzle's really good, but so is Notion Rain. And it looks like we're getting paid here. This is all good stuff to see. We're going to take the Darkblade Agent, and maybe we wheel a Dazzling. I don't know. The Notion Rain probably doesn't wheel, and we don't want too many of these. Like we probably want a second and then stop. But Darkblade is exactly what we're hoping for in terms of trying to find get some surveil payoffs going. They're very powerful here. We could take the Izzet Gate here in anticipation of future splashable hypothesizals and the like. Oh yeah, we should check the print run. I'm kind of so locked into Dimir so quickly here, like I almost don't care what the print run is, but we should definitely take a look. But yeah, this is Lander Crab. I'm with Banana Jack on this one. We're gonna go. Oh, thank you. I was gonna go find the print run. It is found. For those of you not aware of the print run stuff, if you look up, go to the link, just paste it into chat, and look up one of the remaining uncommons in a pack, such as Silent Dart. You can see that it is next to Invert, Invent, and next to those are House Guildmage on one side and Crackling Drake on the other. We're hoping that a Crackling Drake is missing from this pack and that we're not fighting with a Dimir Drafter upstream. But again, we're not getting off the Dimir train at this point. And one of the reasons I love getting on the Dimir train is that even if we are competing with it, competing with someone passing to us, it's such a deep, rich color pair in the format that you can still draft the floor on the deck you're going to end up with is still pretty high, even in the face of competing for it. I'm going to take the straight crab. Crabs, I love me a crab, but they are kind of replaceable. Like you're going to get these. I think I'm actually going to take the gate just in case. Also, we have access to like dowsers. So I'm not going to take the lurcher. I really don't want to, this is okay, but I'm not going to hedge towards a color pair I don't want to be in. I'd rather hedge towards a splash that I actually like. Dimir Splash Hypothesizzle has won me a lot of gems. It's way too easy to come by crabs. Dimir Guildgate is the on color gate. That is very tempting. Poisoner is a nice one, though. So this is another tough pick, which is shown immediately, where we have two opinions in chat that are opposing. One vote for Poisoner, one vote for Guildgate. We've already passed a playable to take one gate, but I think the gates are so valuable and the Poisoner so... the Poisoner's fine. I like a Poisoner, but I really love me the gates. I'm going to take some... I'm going to take the gate. It's a close one, though. I don't blame you for Poisoner. And here's a gate that would really solidify our ability to take Hypothesizzles. But here's another crab. Like I said, the crab's kind of... So we have kind of the same pick. But there's also time to grab another... Is it gate if we do choose to splash and we don't have a splash color yet? So I think now I'm going to take a playable just to make sure we get there. There's three people who want the gate, huh? Oh, Collins thinks Dimir really wants the Poisoner. I agree. I just think we'll get one. I just think like Dimir also really wants gates. Like if we get, for example, a Night Veil Predator, is that right? Or is that the other one? Anyway, the CCDD Dimir Uncommon will be really happy to have Dimir Guildgates in the pile, I was going to go crab, but everybody's, or at least everybody piping up, would like to solidify the splash possibility, and I'm down with that. Okay. We can take all the sizzles from here. We can take something like a Bargent if we wanted, but Bargent is not really what a Dimir control deck is trying to do. Never Happened is main deckable, but we'll see. I will take the Vigor Spore Worm because in a world where we are short on playables and find the statue splash, we could maybe end up here. I don't think so, but I don't think we're going to play Enhanced Surveillance in a best of one situation. I like bringing it in against the mirror, or maybe we bring it in if we go deep with a run and we're like 6-1 or something, then I actually am more inclined to surveil because you're going to face like Boros and Dimir a lot, but it's uncommon at least, so we'll take it for that reason alone. Never playing Rumors, so we'll take this uncommon. Never playing Rumors. Well, I guess we'll take Prey Upon given that. Again, if we get really forced into Golgari here, we could end up Golgari Splash Blue as well. So given that, maybe even take the Utopia. Like, things are going not great, I think, if you're playing Urban Utopia in this format, but sometimes things don't go great, and in that spot, we probably want the ability to cast multiple colors of spells over a second 6-drop. So that's the hedge there. Just like, if we get forced into that, we can... have some playables. Here's Artful Takedown. I like Sabotage, but this is better. I like a Troll, but it's a little bit at odds with what we're doing in terms of a low creature Dimir control deck. That being said, it does not take much for this to come down and finish a game. You know, you play a long game with your Dimir control deck. You've got, say, even just 3 creatures in the graveyard, but the board's pretty clear because you've attritioned the long game. Then this can come in and clean up pretty quickly. What are we giving up to do that? We'd be giving up basically having a Dowser and a Devious, because like these will probably both wheel. We could also just take an Assassin if we wanted to take the Splashable. I think I might pass this. I think I would rather just, even though these aren't very sexy, these are the meat and potatoes of the Dimir deck in the format. No love for the Sphere, actually. I find, like, my Dimir decks end up with things like 2 Artful Takedowns, a Status Statue, and 2 splashed Hypothesizal. And then you get to deck building and you're like, how are you running Capture Sphere in a world where your removal suite is 5 premium removal spells, right? And it also doesn't interact with any of the Surveil triggers. It is a non-bow with sacrifice effect, and there's a lot of reasons I don't particularly care for the Sphere, at least this high. I'll take it late, but I don't prioritize it at all, and I don't usually end up with them because bots/humans prioritize them higher than I do. So Troll versus just meat and potatoes. I'm going to pass the Troll and take the cover-up. That's what this deck wants, and I want to make sure we get those. Here's an opportunity where we could take a gate towards the statue. Everybody was happy to take gates towards the non-existent red splash yet, which I get. That's not a criticism. I'm just saying we recognize the importance of gates for splashing, so we could take this gate for that splash. I'm a fan of the Crawl Swarm. This is one I think I rate higher than a lot of people. You don't get punished for 1 toughness in the air a lot, or like a 4/1... 10, you know, like maybe the 1/3 draw card flyer kind of punishes the Swarm, but mostly the Swarm trades with real stuff and then comes back, and I'm fine with that. We all know Disdainful Stroke, though, also excellent because there's a lot of dangerous stuff at the 4+ slot in the format, and you're paying 2 to counter it. So you just, every time you cast a Stroke, you know you've gotten a mana advantage, and it feels really good. So where does that leave us? Where do you think? Anybody have opinions on this one? I would like to activate the statue, but yeah, we're low on creatures, but we'll get there. I've run some really low creature count decks. I think I'm going to take... You like the gate, huh? Zach likes the gate. Wolf likes the Swarm. Trev likes the gate. Colin seems to imply Swarm, saying low on creatures. Draconis likes the Stroke. Yeah, this is a close one. Good to see that there's some support for all 3 of these. But let's make a choice. Let's look at Curve, too. Maybe that'll help. We have no... This is realistically a 4 if we get what we want. So we have no 5s yet. We could take a first 5. And we have no, like, real finisher yet. We don't want too many strokes. Like, I want, like, 1 stroke in best of 1. That's the other thing to remember. We're best of 1. Like, in best of 3, I would like multiple strokes because there are matchups where you'd bring in 2 or 3 of them. But we're never going to have that here. And so, given that I only want 1 stroke... Yeah, I know we have this sweet Darkblade agent that's going to get all the way. Don't worry, it's fine. Look at all this removal we got. We got card drawing and removal. Who needs creatures? All right, we'll take the Swarm, and here we go. Pass walls. Oh, I thought this was the one for. Yeah, we'll definitely find a second cover up. We hope before this draft is out. We can take a mission briefing. It allows us to recast a lot of good stuff. Price of Fame, Artful Takedown, Notion Rain. So yeah, let's take the mission briefing. I know it's not a creature, but don't worry, we got time. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry, I'm an expert at painting myself into difficult corners. Because see here, I want to take the Notion Rain, of course. Yeah, we should probably be adults and take the Gorgon. All right. We'll be adults, take the board. Thought Erasure, though. Harpooner on the splash would be great. Here's a gate. We didn't take the gate the first time, but here's a Whisper Agent. How am I going to pass a Whisper Agent or a Thought Erasure here? I'm a huge fan of Thought Erasure as well. I kind of want to... Yeah, you know what? We're going low creature. I'm doing it. We're just going to keep taking these awesome spells and see if we can make this work. Here's some early defense. I love the Whisper Agent, but I love the Thought Erasure even more. And here we can start picking up some random don't die. Child of Nights. Take a Veiled Shade here over the Locket. I do not like the Necrolisc. I don't know if that's going to summon... Did that summon the ghost of Nick Davidson? No, don't say that, Ryan. That's just a joke, of course. We hope that Nick is lurking there and about to pop in. And anyway, Nick Davidson and I sparred about the value of Necrolisc on stream before. He valued it higher than I do. I find myself not playing them because it's... What are you freaking out about, Zach? We got a shade. Oh, you thought this was the bad shade? Yeah, no, this is a good shade. We like this shade. I mean, this is a decent shade. This is a playable shade. How about that? I guess we put the beetle on the board. All right, pack 2, not great. Really hoping pack 3 lights it up. I'll take this Prey Upon just in case. Yeah, I only want one shade as well, whereas I'd play multiple children, so that was part of that pick as well. I see. Yeah, Child of Night is sad, but playable sad. Expansion Explosion. Well, that fits right into my Who Needs Creatures plan here. Yeah, we could, if we wanted to be open to the pivot to Golgari, we could put our better Golgari in the main deck or playable. Let's put it all in so that we at least remember that this is here for legitimate consideration. We do have a lot of places we can go from here, including we have the 2 gates to support this rare. We have weak green, but deep green if we needed to pivot into green. We could take the Darkblade Agent here and pass on the rare, looking to... Nah, I don't like Snitch. Snitch, first of all, Snitch wheels. So, and if it doesn't, I don't care. I will accept... Whispering Snitch, pick 9 to me is about correct. So if it comes back around, great. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. Expansion Explosion. The explosion part is a tough splash, no doubt, but expansion isn't even a splash, and copying an instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost 4 or less means copying Thought Erasures, Notion Rains, Price of Fames, Artful Takedowns. We could stat a statue if we get there, Mission Briefing. So I'm going to take the rare. It's fun. Like this could also... I think this is good for our win percentage, and the explosion is just great if it happens. I'm gonna be happy to run this for expansion, actually. Watery Grave actually is... see, here now we want Beacon Bolt for our all instants and sorceries deck. Copy this with the rare, then Mission Briefing it. Yeah, Blaze would be all right, but we're not heavy red. I'm going to take the Bolt here. Wish we had the Graves. And I'm I was going to say, and I'm done on green, and Bounty of Might shows up. We could pivot to that, but no, we're going to take this Whisper Agent, and we're going to say goodbye to the green. I'll keep the status there because it is technically playable as a black instant, and we are doing copy stuff and all that. But I'm going to get rid of the green besides that. Although, does mission briefing like exile it? I'm not sure how that interacts if we actually get the... So, like, yeah, we'll figure it out. But there's definitely some weirdness to sort out there. Burglar Rat gives us meme access and a 2-drop. I kind of like that. Yeah, this is ranked. Let's take the Rat Burglar. I guess there's really only Child and Leap here for us, and we'll take the Child. And there's our second cover-up for Infinity. Mesmerist versus another... another crab. Do we have a crab? Maybe we don't have a crab yet. All right, better... we talked about how we can get crabs anytime. Well, here we go. We'll get our crab there. I don't think we're playing this Assault. We're not that aggro. We're also not playing this Barrier. It says Surveil, but I don't like it. I may take it as... I guess we'll take the Rubble Belt. I don't know. We're not playing any of this, but I'll take the more on-color one. We already have a pass wall, right? You don't really want 2 of these, but we'd take 2 Gorgons, so we'll drop another Gorgon in there. Nothing matters here. Yeah, we were definitely fighting for Dimir, but as I said, even when you're fighting for Dimir, you can end up your floor is pretty high. Like this is a Dimir deck where it was not really open, where we were getting cut. So keep that, you know. Which is why I also like picking up those splash lands, because they allow you to pivot into a splash without abandoning the color pair you're in. But if you realize you're fighting for it, then you splash to increase the power level of your deck without having to actually completely change lanes. And it's one of the reasons to pick up the gates that enable those splashes. Gives you outs. So this says we don't get to cut anything. And so is there something terrible here that we're really, you know, this is not great, honestly. And let's say we do just look at these, but there's also not much to put in instead. That also can happen. We took a lot of green cards on the hedge and can't really run them. So it's either Barrier or Status, and then I think we are just running exactly what we drafted. No, it doesn't seem good, does it? Let's see what our actual numbers are, though. 11 creatures is actually not that low. That's fine. It'll find a target. We can even run a Miser's Forest or something, but we didn't end up with, like, really oppressive Dimir costs. We do have Cover Up and Mission Briefing, so we do have some... there's going to be a need for some blue, I think. And then the Gorgons are demanding black, so yeah, we don't want to run any forests. So then it's about Barrier versus Surveillance versus even maybe just an extra land. What about 18 landing this? I want 18 land. And we don't want this much red. We probably want... even run 4 to give us a better chance of explosion. Maybe that's too much. Let's see where this puts us. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and blue has 9. Black only has 7 here, so we would definitely add black. Is that enough? Is 984 acceptable, or do we need to go 993? That's kind of my question here. And if... really, it probably should go 993, and if we happen to hit the 2 red for explosion, it's only going to be good when we have 6 to 10 mana anyway, and we're more likely to have the 2 red sources there. No, we don't, but Tsunami, the reason why we like Beacon Bolt is specifically we're not trying to cast it on curve. It is very unlikely that we're ever going to cast this on turn 3. This is a turn 5 plus type play. So that's what makes me want to reduce our red. But I'll keep the 3 because I would like the Miser's chance at a late explosion. And 3 sources is nice and secure for reasonably getting this bolt online in the mid to late game. So I like that. And then we get the extra swamp we can put back in. And that gives us the 993 that looks pretty good for this. How about this here? This will be our Artful Explosion. Because we are going to cast Explosion before this event is over, right? How could the Magic Gods not allow that to happen at least once? Oh, did I? I didn't screenshot it, which is good for my future documentation. All right, some best of 1 GRN. Back in my old comfort zone of spell heavy, Dimir splash. Is it? It's like coming home. We only got the 1 Notion Rain, right? Yeah, would have liked a second Notion Rain. That would have been a good pickup. Can't cast these Gorgons yet, but I'm not going to throw this back. We'll find black, right? See? That seems like a fine play on so many levels. Oh, I gotta switch.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
It's actually good the rat burglar meme doesn't work on the draft view. I should do that. I should like make sure that nothing works on the draft view that I used on the battlefield, and then it'll force me to switch scenes. We passed one of those. If we play the Is It gate, we could have cover up on 4. And I think I like having cover up on 4 over getting a Gorgon out here. They would just trade the Gorgon off for the child anyway. And they're showing green, which means we're going to just kind of want the Gorgons to trade with big green stuff. So because of that, I'm going to set up for turn 4 cover up rather than put a Gorgon out right now. But drawing the Darkblade Agent changes the plan again. That attacks through the Child of Night. And if we can find some Surveil, obviously gets really good. And now we can send in the Rat. They haven't shown the ability to attack through the Darkblade Agent. They could do something like cast a big 6, but they don't have any creatures. They have no creatures in the yard for that kind of shenanigans. So there's a Necrolisk. Well, at least we drew Surveil. That's very lucky for us, because now we can charge in with the Agent and leave back the Rat if they want to attack the Assassin into the Rat. We don't care about that, but we can send in the Darkblade Agent here and at the very least death touch it and trade with the Necrolisk that Oppo is likely to block with here. It does set them up that they can then... Alright, I'm fine with that as well. Given that, we will just wait on everything. And I think I'll try and catch that Necrolisk with the Agent. Unless we have a must-counter spell such as Vraska. She's not amazing, but we're not going to let this count. We're not going to let a Planeswalker resolve here when we can't really pressure it. I mean, we can play the Swarm and then start pressuring, but you gotta counter the Planeswalker. At least that one. Yeah, we're down on Vraska is a limited concern, but Vraska's always done great work when I've had the pleasure of her company. We'll send in the Rat, drop one Gorgon, and then keep the Agent ready for the follow. And set up our next draw. It'll probably just be play the Swarm, but I'm doing the 2-spell max mana as opposed to single spell. If Oppa wants to, like, move in on this Necrolisk, I'm cool with that, too. I don't think that's a good plan long term. Alright, I can live with that. You hate what Chromatic Lantern does to these lands in terms of visual? Yeah, maybe it's not the prettiest. Hey, Asimom. Hello. As me, man. Great. Thank you for the... I like it when people tell me how to pronounce their handles. I'll try to remember. I try to remember. Try to call you what you want to be called. As me, man. As me, man. So, do we want a crab? I mean, a crab just stonewalls this Necrolisk, so I'm down. We'll keep it. I'm gonna... I said I was gonna do the Swarm. I bet if they draw a creature, they would just sack it to the Lisk if we play the crab. If we play anything. So I'm gonna play, and let's set ourselves up maybe for... If we draw a land next turn, we can double spell here. So I'm gonna do the Swarm so that a basic land draw gives us 2 spells next turn. And potentially we just go ahead and offer the Swarm for the Necrolisk if Oppo attacks. And they didn't even want to do that. So let's rain before attacking. Don't want those. I'm not going to mess around here. If we take this down now, we get an extra 4 damage in on the attack. I don't know, we'll do it both. If they do something to save it, at least it taps, as long as you do both. Solid smack, but we have a Gorgon for that, and a crab to boot. Any value in suiciding the Agent in? We get an extra point, but it doesn't change the clock, so not really. And maybe I'll throw the child down as a source of life. being more important than a big butt for the moment. Looks like we got this. Oh yeah, I should update my data too. I didn't. My info isn't correct. We'll get that corrected right now. Looks like that's correct at least. A penny for the win. This is GRNB01. And we are on Google free to play and off to a good start. That felt solid. Stranger Calling, Jiren is my favorite, but it's way better than M19. Yeah, this is a lot more fun than M19, I think. M19 is fine. I don't want to bag too hard on that format. It's just particularly weak in the context of the awesomeness around it. All right, we're going to go... I wasn't sure whether we were going to erase or adept, but with the agent triggered by the erasure, we will adept here. And then go agent... erasure, potentially briefing erasure, but now that would be the turn after. Price of Fame looking good. I like that. No blocks. All right. Probably need to thought erasure here. Although we could... actually, let's Price of Fame the Antelope. It's a pretty extreme move, but it turns on the Dark Blade and says to Oppo, either give us your Healer's Hawk and your Recluse, or we draw a card. And I like that. And we get to set up next turn. And mission briefing on Price of Fame is big game also. And we'll keep the takedown and ditch the land. And give him the tough choice. Oppo could convoke next turn, but to do what? Something we can Price of Fame? Something... yeah. Tsuname, we are both similar and we always end up Demir, but that pleases me greatly. I was saying this format isn't an all-timer in terms of how it drafts, and it's not an all-timer in terms of its deck diversity, but it is kind of all-timer for me in terms of how the three best decks in the format play against each other. The Boros, Demir, Izzet triangle of life in the format I find fun and interesting, so even though it's not particularly diverse. Let's see, we are on my main phase. Let's drop that. We could erase. We could erase and Gorgon. And again, it puts them in the spot of like, all right, we get a card or you lose. Oh, Crushing Canopy kind of does work eventually, but we want to get rid of this Foragers, maybe? We do have the tools for the Foragers. And Righteous Blow. Yeah, we can get rid of the Foragers, that's fine. And we'll keep that. And we could just make this unblockable and force the draw, but I'm happy to give up the agent for the Centaur at this point. I think our hand is stacked, and we know what they have, and if they want to trade with the Centaur, we should be able to build towards a winning strategy here, and if they give us a card, all the better. We get to drop a Gorgon that still threatens that Centaur. They do have a Righteous Blow, so in a sense we'd be trading the Gorgon for the Righteous Blow, but then we have Artful Takedown, we have Mission Briefing, we have we have so much gasoline that I'm not concerned with what our cards trade one for one with, just that they do. As Me Man asks if I ever play Modern or Standard. Yes, I play Standard sometimes on stream even, but not really competitively. Just because Standard is fun. It's fun to tinker with the meta and see what's going on there. We're going to do that, and we'll make this block, and if they want to take out the pass wall instead, they can, but I'm expecting the Gorgon to die here, and that's fine. Alright, so we did Gorgon and got the fight on the agent. Okay, that's cool. Again, I just think we're so... Our card quality is so strong here that we're going to be fine. We're going to just... that Centaur is enough of a problem that we are just going to take that down and tap the Healer's Hawk. I could do it now, I guess. Now the pass wall blocks the Recluse, so that's okay. We'll just stay back. And I'm going to do an upkeep stop so that we execute the Artful Takedown on their turn, but before they draw. This, we know what they have, so we could have done it on our turn, I suppose. But this is like just me following the general heuristic of making these kind of plays at this point in time. It's a good habit to have anyway. Okay, so we are tapping the Hawk and minusing the Centaur. Yeah, that's right. I needed to do it on their turn for the Hawk, but even the act of minus four-ing is kind of what I was talking about. Like, let's say it didn't have the tap ability. That's where the before they draw, but after they untap comes into play. But again, none of it mattered because we knew exactly what they had. What mattered was that we wanted to tap the Hawk, though, in terms of being important to do on their turn. So let's Notion Rain first here, I think. We don't have our splash color yet, so I'll keep the Izzet Gate, but we'll pitch the other land. And we can play that, and how about drop the Shade here? And it starts to get really oppressive looking next turn. Shade is not the best card in the deck, in the format, in the archetype, but it is a playable win condition if you didn't pick up the stuff you really wanted to on that front, like we didn't. Gorgon is nice. We're gonna threaten to do Threat of Activation with the Shade, but we're gonna spend mana on our hand this turn. We got 8 mana to spend. This is 2, 5. We could just go 5 and then have this up. Kind of like Mission Briefing accessing the counterspell, though. Right? Don't we have it? Did that get... Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the other game. We don't have that. We can take down, we can price, we can erase. Okay, so we don't have the counterspell yet. I don't think I... Like, we can mission brief and price at instant speed, so we have instant speed removal here. Let's just not pump and play the Gorgon. Oh, now we don't have instant speed removal, though, because it's too much. Still, so given that, actually, I'm going to play the Child as well, and I should have pumped once. So that's a missing point of damage. I didn't do the math right, and Oppo should be at 16. This at least threatens them with... there's an unintentional bluff, at least. Any looting? I think we just want to play our lands, because this all gets so hungry. Like, we could even mission brief for the Notion Rain to draw more. We're at 10 life, though. Let's... try to figure out how to spend this mana between the Shade Pump, mission briefing availability, pass wall activation. You know, if we get the Child through... we just counteract the Healer's Hawk. So, like, one thing we could do is sit here and race the Hawk. I actually kind of like that. We're very safe. And then we still even have threat of activation on Shade for the attack. And if they just let the Shade through, we could go aggressive and try to close it out. But again, we know what they have. We're just very, very stable here. I could do 3 pumps, but I like mission briefing with takedown and price of fame. That's my thinking. And maybe we'll, no matter what, do some mission briefing, takedown, price of... We'll do mission briefing, takedown at the end of turn, and that should set up for a really big... attack next turn, right? $18 cards there. Love to find a cover-up. Then we're just very hard to beat. I don't, you know, they'd have to come up with something uncounterable. Is there uncounterable green stuff? I don't know. That's why a cover-up would just make me feel really safe. I already feel pretty safe, but I could imagine some big green beasties that come from here to overwhelm us. Swarm looks decent. It trades with the Hawk, which doesn't seem super exciting, but at least... you know, that's not a bad result. What does... This Whisper Agent doesn't really get us much. But, yeah, Swarm gets killed by the Canopy, so yeah, and also we can get it back if we put it in the graveyard anyway. So I'm going to do that. I don't think either of those creatures do what we want right now. And we want a takedown anyway. And let's... I think it's more important to kill the Recluse. I'm going to tap the 3/3 and kill the 4 toughness dude. So we do have 10 pumps. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we gain 2 life in the deal. So yeah, let's just do that. Basically, if I tap the non-black side of the shade, I should just be able to pump straight from here. Not let auto tap mess me up somehow. Well, I bet this is a land, and well, taking out the canopy is not the worst, because then we can get the Kroll Swarm back, or Oppo can... Whoa. Are you all still with me? Did I lose, is this just wizards, or is this me? What's going on? Alright, glad you're all still here. We're still alive. Just some weirdness. There you are. I want my 2 pennies. Alrighty. No black for us yet. But if we can find some, this hand looks good, and Oppo's going first, so I'm going to keep. Find some black by turn 3 for the agent, and then everything looks rosy. If we don't, less rosy, but it's the risk we are taking. Risk not paying off so far, but that's all right. Swamp on the top, one time. Here we go, swamping me now. Oh. All right. So this is where we lose to Boros when our draw doesn't pan out. I still like the keep. It's just not panning out. For those of you who are not seeing, Boris Graphics is kindly offering up codes to get a free draft on Arena. It's only 1 per account, so I'm just going to scoop on this one. We are deader than dead after the failure to find not only black, but any land whatsoever. In any case, pre-release kits came with a code. RNA pre-release kits came with a code for a free RNA draft on Arena, but it's limited to 1 an account. So often people had gone to multiple pre-releases and only have 1 Arena account and have a surplus of codes. So if you've never redeemed a code on your Arena account for a free RNA draft, it's being offered up kindly by Boris Graphics. Just let Boris know. Meanwhile, we'll lick that wound, and, you know, that's magic. You're going to take those lumps. Again, I think it was correct to keep that. Same basic choice, and except the cards are worse here. Like the payoff for finding black in the other hand that we kept was significantly better. This one has the benefit of actually having 3 lands. Like, we got stuck on 2 and didn't even find a 3rd land of any kind. However, if Oppo is on Boros, and even if we like find black, we're not in great shape. Like, we're doing very clunky things here. So I think we have to mulligan this, whereas I kept the other one despite their apparent similarities. Those are the differences I see. Also, in fact, like the fact that the other one was 5 spells, 2 land, meant that, you know, if it did recover, it was very, very spell heavy. If this one gets the black it needs, it's not as spell dense anyway. So I'm going to mulligan this. And we'll keep this. And we'll keep the gate to shore up our mana. I assume Boris will distribute codes as able through whispering, so and I also probably assume Boris already has more requests than codes, but I'm no Boris, so I could play the Adept on a basic, but I'd rather get these gates down and not worry about maybe getting an appointed damage. We're not it's a Dimir deck, so we're not under pressure. I think Green Ghost Man, you like need to up your subs for somebody or something. Next turn, if nothing changes significantly, we will hold up cover up as opposed to playing the past wall. But if we draw a 2, definitely would play the past wall there. Like if we found our Thought Erasure, we do Erasure Adept for sure. Green Ghost Man, thank you for the sub. Okay, I thought you were trying to do somebody else's Shamrock emote, and I was kind of, I wanted to see it. But I appreciate the sub. I was talking about subbing whoever had the Shamrock emote, not me, but I certainly appreciate the sub. That is very kind of you. We're not going to block here. I'm super excited for War Limited. I think it seems really interesting. Okay, we did draw a 2, so we could do a 2-spell turn of Child and Pass Wall. That would get us in Child a card that threatens to block the agent. We could attack with the agent of our own and see if they are interested in trading the bats. I think we start there, because I would trade the bats quite happily if they're into this trade. And then... yeah, I'm going to go shields down one more turn, play 2 spells, and then we have cover up from there. I would assume Boris is done with codes at this point, unless Boris would like to speak up again and say, nope, I have a boatload. Yeah, okay, there you go. There's Boris. Thanks, Boris. That's really kind of you. And I love the Child in this spot because I don't care what it trades for. I mean, I guess like even a Dazzling wouldn't be the worst. Watcher, let's see what they do with their Surveil. Top, you say. Well, that definitely makes me want to keep the cover-up available. And let's see if we can find some removal for the Watcher, or create removal by... Hey, thank you for that sub, Fiddles. Oh, you've done it was a gift. Look at the paying forward going on here. You guys are awesome. Yeah, this is ranked. Muse Drake. I'm going to do it so that we shuffle some stuff back in, put an instant in the yard for... Although I don't even want the child back, I don't think, in this board state, so we'll only do the Dark Blade. But let's get Beacon Bolt towards relevancy. Towards relevance, I guess it doesn't need the C. So this is Deece. We'll erase something, add to Beacon Bolt's capabilities. Wow, that's a good something. Suppose we will deny them the Surveil over that, and yeah, we'll keep that. And then the Beacon Bolt is close to being a very meaningful card. Also, the crab survives the takedown, and it does not survive the deadly visit. We'll attack first, see if they're interested in killing the adept yet. No. I think we have the room to rain. I'd like to find some land. There's some land. We can't get the explosion side yet, but here's where expansion should be good with the Beacon Bolt. So we'll keep all of this. Beacon Bolt currently on 3. And we can play the crab and have expansion to copy the Artful Takedown and kill the Watcher. That's one play we have available here. Yeah, Deckmaster is often borked after an update, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, Boros whispered all people he was able to gift. And so if you didn't get a whisper, you were late to the line, it seems. Really just want to use our black here on crab. I think that may get... still, they can't really kill anything with it, so that might not do anything yet. We're cutting a little close on the life total, but we're going to go to 5. But our worst case after that is like Beacon Bolt, copy Beacon Bolt to get the Watcher. Maybe we'll top deck a mountain. That would be sweet. I promised an explosion at some point during this stream today, so I hope the magic gods don't leave me high and dry on that one. That's it. Ooh. How do we do this? I guess what I'm going to do is discard the expansion so that Beacon Bolt gets to 4 and can take out the Watcher. That seems like the best thing to do here. Right? It's a little sad, but one does what one must. Just don't rat me. Don't rat me, man. Oh, cool. Mission briefing. does some interesting, just a lot of stuff. We could mission briefing expansion to copy bolts and kind of stuff like that. But we'll just start with a plain old beacon bolt to the Watcher. $11 is a lot, Boris. Thank you. That's wow. 11 free drafts from Boris. Everybody give out a yay for Boris. Now it's like this it's always nerve-wracking to play against disinfo, but now with mission briefing and all this land, we should be able to do, you know, like our worst case is what well, I guess maybe if they play something that has surveil, we can at least mission briefing the cover up. It does exile it, though, so we don't have the cover-up loop if we do that. It's something to consider, but I think we're going to get there with actual weak-ass creature damage here. But we could, like, mission briefing now for Notion Rain and just draw some extras. I just don't want to lose mission briefing for, like, no value because we got it campaigned. I suppose I could have left the land in hand given that, but it's just, this is a very mana-hungry deck. I'm going to risk it, I think, one more turn at least. Again, we have the play to use it to counter. It closes our loop, but that's not the end of the world. We still have the other cover-up to restock our library if necessary. And doesn't look, and looks like Oppo is top-decking to anything to brief anyway. Would Briefing Expansion Bolt be lethal next turn with no creature down? Expansion... Bolt is creature only, right? So if that's your... If you're thinking Bolt goes to the face, it does not. We'll know things are going really well when they finally decide to use that Artful Takedown to kill the Adept and save 2 points from the Crab. Yeah, there it is. And I could counter that, but we don't need to. I was debating mission briefing for cards. But I still like having the effective counterspell up here. Okay, now we can kill him, right? Or come close. We haven't cast anything in a while, so it's possible they're holding counters up here. Explosion is an instant anyway, so we have it all available to us. I'm just going to pass. Explosion, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 for the briefing, leaves 7. -4 for the colored mana, leaves an X of 3 if we explode. No need to do anything about the centipede here. I think I'm going to use the takedown here, partly to feel out whether Oppo has counter magic. So let's see if there's a response to this spell. definitely a pause, which makes me not want to execute the big play. Oh, okay, okay. That's fine. Takedown is still functioning. And I think we can presume that, I don't know, they might have a counter spell here with their last card, but we're gonna risk it, and just risk it now. Four is our X, right? Yep. Oh, wait. X damage to any target player. Okay, gotta make sure I do that right. Let's see, what does upkeep get us? I guess it just says if they did have a counter, they countered on their turn. There's not, I don't think there's too much value to that, right? I mean, I'm not sure what we would get out of that. Let's do this.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
And delivered on the promise of an explosion. Just want to say. Yeah, pitched to land as we figured. It's not like this is gonna get better. Okay. Although I did cost myself putting lethal on the board. I'm just kind of casting spells here, and it's not very, very tight of me. Because, I mean, that did get something out of their hand. I guess we wouldn't have gotten them anyway, because they could have dazzled us to prevent lethal. Oh, sweet. This goes back to their hand, and we get to take it out. Nice. He gets DI back. Not for long. Good rip, but we still have the tools for it, so start here. Yeah, we want to draw the cover up. And we'll go ahead and pitch the Gorgon to... Or maybe we just go ahead and attack with both, and if they want to trade the Swarm for the Agent, we drop the Gorgon. Although it puts them on a faster clock to just bolt it, so I'm going to do that. Puts them on a very fast clock to bolt it, apparently. Oh, I lost one, though, right? I haven't updated the record. I think I was in denial of the loss, but we'll get this record correct. Up to 3-1, cruising along. Yeah, I should have kept the gate. In fact, I was thinking about that, and then failed to remember for the whole turn. I remembered for like 80% of the turn to keep my gate for the bolt, and then, but that's one of those things you need to remember 100% of. Fortunately, free mistakes for us. Didn't cost us a win that time. This looks fine. We got a Gorgon on 3, takedown, crab. Expansion explosion does nothing yet, but it will eventually. Surveil is just super strong, right? Notion Rain, excellent. This is scary. Be taking it down or Gorgoning it or something at some point. In the Dimir matchup, I love stripping their hand before turn 3. Like, so many of the Dimir goodies happen on 3 that I love getting the look. In this case, that rat is going to be annoying because we've got nothing but gas. These are not amazing, but we probably, let's see, we could just play around the stroke the rest of the way here. If we let him have the Gorgon for the ground, although this Mesmerist kind of nullifies the Gorgon on the ground until we get the Crab. Crab plus Gorgon does a fine job on the ground. And Takedown can take out the bats. So I'm just going to get rid of the stroke, actually. I think long term, that's the most damaging spell Oppo has. I could have gotten rid of the rat as well, but I mean, you know, we can just get rid of Expansion Explosion here. We can't cast it. It's not doing anything. Oh, here, you get the meme, though, for that.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
And now drop a crab here. Still gives them a 1-point attack, but nothing big. What are we doing this turn? Taking down? If we do their upkeep, they don't get the 1 point in, but has the drawback of them untapping into spell availability. So I'm actually going to take down while their shields down, and what this means is the burglar rat gets through for a point, but I will take a point of damage to ensure the resolution of that takedown. Next turn, we should be able to Notion Rain into Gorgon if we find a land. And we found a land even without the Notion Rain, but let's start with the rain. Don't have the red splash yet, so we're gonna bin this stuff, and when we find the red splash, we can jumpstart the bolt. It's another way that the jumpstart splash works with Dimir really well. The Surveil puts the unusable splash into the yard for later. Hey Timnos, we're doing pretty good around here. Hope you are the same. Trying to figure out what we want to offer. I'll throw down the Gorgon. Right on, Fiddles. Glad you could hang for a bit, and we'll see you next time. Gorgon for Gorgon? Gorgon for Mesmerist? Mesmerist is being really annoying here, but we'll just trade Gorgons. Or try to. I think it will work, because if they had something, they would just swing with the Burglar Rat as well. As I expected, though, as we get into this 3-1 type win-loss record territory, we're going to be seeing more Dimir and strong Boros and stuff, so not unexpected. Let's throw the child down. It also kind of does the trick. I'm going to keep the Veiled Shade in hand and the price at the ready. If we get forced to discard, I want to pitch the Shade, and it also, you know, leaves instant speed removal ready. Yeah, Tim knows you missed it, but we've seen the rat a few times today, and not just from the subs. They have stroke mana. Be unfortunate if they can pick this off, but I think at this point they're likely to have stroke mana for the rest of the game. We'll let them go to attackers, though. No need to do this before their main. All right, they want to do it again. Well, I'm happy to trade the Mesmerist for the child. That's great. Yeah, yep, here we go. We'll see if Steve can get away with this. Maybe a stroke. Not a stroke, but a save. And a denial of our surveil, which is too bad. Would have kept that anyway. Gets our beacon bolt. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the shade. We'll use our next land draw on the beacon bolt. Unless it's another red source. We might keep another red source for the possible explosion down the road. We didn't give up. Well, it's still, even if it's in here, we have many ways to get it from the yard. Nantuko, glad to see you. Wujo. The boys are back in town. After stream yesterday, I went and had lunch with Jay Schneider. Some of you may recognize that name. Okay, they get it. We can't do that. He worked in R&D for a bit. He was instrumental in the launch of Duels of the Planeswalkers. But you probably all know him best as the designer of the Sly deck. If there were just he's good friends with Paul Sly. He has no hard feelings. But if there were justice in the world, the Sly deck would be known, as the Schneider. Let's see. So we're gonna bolt. Might have to bolt. Thoughtbound. Yeah, wrong Schneider. I think we have to kill the agent. Well, nothing gets through here. I wish this were an instant. I wish my card were better. I just don't know what the bigger threat is for the rest of this game. The Phantasm or the agent. And I'm going to go ahead and let the clock go down as I think about it. And it may be the answer is that we do nothing right now. But the trouble with nothing is that the Surveil trigger makes things rough on the other side. I'm going to take out the agent. I don't want to have to choose between a dead crab and them drawing a card. Yeah, it was a fascinating lunch. Jay is a fascinating guy, and we had similar roles in R&D at very different times. We were both a digital-minded member of R&D focusing on the digital aspects of Magic, and so we had a lot to talk about. And he showed me some really cool stuff. He has binders of test cards that he drew like on Magic blanks. So he has several binders full of Magic blanks with his test cards, and you can see maybe if there's interest, maybe I can I'll set this up for next week when I can do a better presentation. I took pictures of all of his test cards, and there's some interesting historical Magic nuggets in there, because some of the test cards, you see what cards that they became, and they're different from the printed version. So you can see some places where cards changed in development, and some of them are huge changes. Like, oh my god, there's one I can't wait to show you. But I will. I'm going to save that for next week. Maybe I'll get Jay on the show. Maybe Jay will show up on the stream sometime and chat with us. Land isn't what we want to see, but things are piling up the wrong way over there. But we're still stable. All right. Oh, it's dead? It's dead. That's all right. Here comes our answer. I mean, it's not a good answer, but it's our answer. Island! Tremble. Oppo. That's a real problem. If we set up a defense that doesn't involve killing the Dowser just going to finish us off through pass wall. And not much. We got mana screwed into one loss, and looks like we're flooding our way towards another. If we had the second... Yeah, we're pretty out of luck here. Not the card for the moment. You know I love you, Thought Erasure, but you are not the card for the moment. And we take a second loss. Right on, Nantuko had told me he was gearing up to start streaming. Good to hear. Long-time viewer, long-time LR listener, and very, very helpful mod. A lot of the perks and upgrades you've seen around my stream have been due to Nantuko's kindness and dedication to the community. So I'm looking forward to catching his stream at night when I'm filling card orders. Oh yeah, and by the way, just to plug that real quick, my stock is low right now because I've been focusing on some other stuff this week, but I'm gonna blitz the store with some product in the next week or so. Gonna start working on that this afternoon, and so keep a lookout for that. If you want to support me through card buying, you can do that there. Let's see. Let's get back into it, though. Acknowledge our loss and try to pick up at least one more win out of this. This deck is good. Started with the 3-0. Or no, we started 2-1 and went 3-1. Nice to pick up a fourth win here, though. We're playing with house money, though. This is the gold entry with some saved gold. I love that. That, like, no matter how we do here, this is just adding to our gem count. It's pure gem profit. Pass wall gives us a nice little curve out. We got pass wall into Never Happened into Crab, with any land, of course. Expansion again, not doing anything yet, but we'll get there. Ooh, that was one of my good ones. I saw Cyclonic Rift as a when it was basically a bulk card. It was like it was one or $2 for a long time, and I can't remember what I picked them up for, but I knew it was too obviously a future commander staple. So I got a bunch of those. On the low side. Oh, you must have gone to my store and see that I'm selling Cyclonic Rifts. Yes. I'm flipping those rifts now. Let's get the double blue down. We're going to stick with the plan, though. Let's never happen this and see what we find. I suppose I could have waited because they're going to draw, but they'll probably cast whatever they drew. Sequence of 4 drops. What's the least... You don't really care about the... removal. I guess it's the bats, actually. We're gonna have to use takedown on the bug, and then crab holds off the Necrolisk or eats the sphere. Either way. Right on. Buying computers. Cover up allows us to protect the crab unless they capture it immediately. They're not showing the ability to make that spy bug bigger right now. I'm going to tempt them with the crab. I think that'll draw the capture sphere for better or worse. That's going to get the Necrolisk and the Spybug in for another 5. But then we have takedown, kill Spybug, tap Necrolisk. And we can copy the Artful Takedown if we get another blue. We can... Copy never happened to get the sphere out of the hand. That's a play we could do with 5 mana that we could consider. Expansion, or sorry, yeah. Oh no, we can't. Sorry, I was thinking of mission briefing. I was confusing expansion and mission briefing in my head. But if we get to 6 mana and another blue, we could expansion the takedown. That's not a... That's an accurate use case. Oppo in the tank. Do they want to capture this crab? Do they want to save it for the, the real closer? No need to copy the takedown. We got a couple of them. And now they're giving us the sphere option. Or, counter the option to counter the sphere. They may be content to let this Spybug get there. With double takedown, I don't really care if they cover up, if they... See, actually, I'm more concerned about covering that up. And in fact, I think I am. I'm going to fight the card advantage battle. I'm going to leave the Never Happened in. It fuels Beacon Bolt, and it's not particularly good. Am I going to F&M tonight? Wolf asks a great question, because with my family out of town, I am free to go to F&M tonight. But I think what I'm going to do is check in with my local friends and give my friends first dibs on me with the family out of town and try and catch up with my loved ones that don't live with me. And if everybody's busy, then maybe do some drafting, yeah. So we've got expansion. We got 3 takedowns. We should probably just do some taking down here. It should allow us to copy it as well without. It should be a good test of the interface. It should allow us to, because it knows we have expansion, it should allow us to just throw this out there, and it should give me the opportunity to copy it. So I'm curious to see if that happens. Yeah. Which shop? You are you a local CK drafter, Carpe? All right, even got mission briefing like that. I'm not an unreasonably big Star Wars fan. I'm about as big as I have a special surprise for you. Is May 4th? What day of the week is May the 4th? What day of the week is May the 4th? Oh, okay. Well, since then maybe I'll show you the surprise I was going to give you on May 4th later after this match. Let's see if they are interested in crabbing yet. Not interested in crabbing yet. I'm not interested in spending mana to make anything unblockable, but I will throw the double attack. I respect that, Trollmanist. Yeah, it's really hard to avoid trailer level spoilers. I think actually the community, the world community at large, or at least my social media community, is very good about not spoiling important stuff about recently released movies. But it's very difficult to get the world to not spoil what's been revealed in trailers, you know? See, Cold Grits, I think I'm the perfect level of Star Wars fan because I don't love it enough to ever say something like, watch them destroy whatever good is left in the Star Wars universe, can't wait. Like, I just don't care. Like, it's all just popcorn flicks to me. I liked Han Solo. There, I said it. Because it was fun. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. The idea that much of the essential history of those characters happened in, like, one weekend, or, like, 36 hours, is ridiculous. But I still liked it. It was fun. We cannot kill that. Let's see. I think we got to go do the cover up here. Oh, we can't. We don't have the mana. So, I guess we have to fight through a Murmuring Mystic, huh? you can post the link. Just, you know, let everybody know there's Star Wars spoilers within. Is there anything worth mission briefing here that helps us out? Not right now. Not right now. There's the second land or the other blue source we needed to mission brief into the counter spell. And we are not in any place to like double take down the Murmuring Mystic. So I guess we are now in... Now I guess we're going to wait and hope that Oppo is out of spells to trigger the Mystic. We can't wait too long. We're going to start pass-walling the crab, make him use the capture sphere on the crab. Well, if we... Yeah, that's a good point. Let's try and get him to take a point of damage on the Mystic and then take it down. That's worth trying. Right on. Happy birthday, Draconis. That sounds about right, Carpe. 26 or something? If we get this pulled off, we can follow with the Child of Night, and then we don't really care if they sphere the child or the crab. Something can start getting through for 2 a turn at least. Oh, do they have something? Oh, I guess they have. No, they don't. What? They have capture sphere. Of course, they could. No, right here. Oh no, they're gonna cover it up. Darn it. Still might be okay. We were kind of getting rid of the Murmuring Mystic out of principle, not out of dire need. So let's drop the Child of Night. We actually have the same kind of attack next turn, although I think we just start... We make him use this sphere and then start trying to get ahead. I think they have to use the sphere on the child now, or else we actually start pushing the race in the other direction. Oh no!
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Now we're on the ropes. We got some nice draws, though, to... Oh, man. Okay, so now we have our own... We have our other devious cover-up. I'm going to play the second gate because I have faith. We're going to cover up and send it all back, and then we're still going to explode and win this game. At what point? You got to capture sphere the child, right? Let's see if they do. Happy Friday to you, Ravy Davy. Put on full control here so I can do the pass wall activation before they get to block. Not sure what they're waiting for on the sphere. Maybe I'm not patient enough and they're playing it right, but I would have sphered the child by now. I'm playing a land because we have card draw, for one thing. So if we draw... or maybe we already played it. No, I guess we have... Oh yeah, sorry. Notion Rain is still in the deck. And we have Devious Cover-Up that may shuffle back Mission Briefing and stuff back in, and particularly Expansion Explosion. But mainly it's card draw. And also, yeah, you can also expect discard. Like we've seen Rat, and you can expect these types of decks to have Disinformation Campaign. So it can be dangerous to sandbag lands unless you have a very good reason of what you're trying to represent or what you're trying to accomplish by potentially... Because, well, I mean, one reason to keep it is we do have, like, one jumpstart spell or whatever, but if we draw the Beacon Bolt, I'm happy to cast it and then find something else to pitch later to it. Hey, Cincy, on this account, we looked at it before we started the draft today. It was not so full. It's solidly full. Like, it's pretty good, you know, but it's not anywhere close to 4x such that rare drafting was a real consideration for us today. Bad land, bad land. Do this again. I think ICRs are standard only. That's my understanding of their role. Come on, Wujo, that's awesome. There's nothing more I want in the world than to be 3-0 versus all Boros decks in this format. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but you described a thing that makes me smile. Yeah, I'm still gonna play land. I guess we can wait now. Like, we have the double red, and if we bolt, we might want to double bolt. So I'll keep the island in hand now. One, two, three, four, five. So if we do draw the bolt, it kills the Mystic straight up. Yeah. As I said, this format has a problem with staleness. I don't consider Betrayal playable to the point that I don't remember what it does. Let's see, what does this do? It's not... exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. You may cast those cards this turn and may spend mana. Oh, okay, this is pretty good. They get to do something here. Can we do anything about it? Not really. I think we just kind of probably lose to this. Not maybe, Zach. Definitely. That we were trying to avoid duplicate protection schemes when I was involved with Arena. Scheme sounds somehow nefarious, but I mean just duplicate protection systems. I mean, they took away our fuel. The biggest problem, you know, that wasn't a particularly mega result off of that what is it called? Betrayal? But I'm really annoyed that our graveyard is down to 1. Do they come back? Maybe they come back. What does it say? Oh no, return to the graveyard. Great. We don't even have to. We don't even lose out on instant and sorcery support for our beacon bolt. So that's good. Excellent point, Kat. Bolt counts cards in exile anyway. I forgot that because it's only on a couple of those cards, but it's also why I was so high on Crackling Drake for Constructed. I think we'll be seeing Crackling Drake played in some Eternal formats for a long time as a finisher where even exiling my graveyard doesn't stop it, you know? Yeah, I think losing hope on this one, but Notion Rain could help. We're gonna tap 2 blue for it since we have a lot of blue in our guild gates. Okay, Price of Fame is a place to start. It's a lot of birds. We still need to figure out the bird situation. And I don't really think the... Like, what figures out the bird situation, though? We have Gorgon, Bolt, Rat, Child, Darkblade, Kroll Swarm. Bad news, guys. We do not have realistically anything that deals with the bird situation other than racing. So I gotta keep that in mind, and I guess given that, we'll keep both of these. Shade certainly helps with the race. We don't need the... Well, actually, we do need the swamp to help with that race. I'm going to even keep that on top to give us an extra point of attack damage. And I'm going to sandbag the island because it doesn't actually add to our shade count. And they have shown discard, so I want to have a discard option as opposed to the agent. Yeah, I mean, I'm the capture sphere is... They've certainly been patient with it, which I guess they have more respect for our deck than they ought to. Like, there's not that much... Like, the shade, I guess, is them getting a better target than they could have had. But we're just too far behind in the sky now. I don't think there's anything we can do. I think we're, after a pretty strong start, petering off to a 3-3 here. That's what it feels like. I guess for racing, again, okay, interesting. Surprised they're sphering the shade. I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, we just can't really do this. Can't really get there. If WotC went up to you and asked if they should reprint Birds of Paradise, what would you say? I think it's a reprintable card. If Llanowar Elves is reprintable, Birds of Paradise is reprintable. I mean, I think the fundamental question is whether you want 1 mana accelerators in green. And it would be contextual with everything else going on in the set. We're just going to scoop here. There's nothing we can do. I guess we scoop and reconnect. Darn it. All right. I had higher hopes than 3-3 for that deck. But again, it was pure profit, so adding 300 gems to the pile here doesn't suck, and we get to open a GRN pack. it's all about balance. I mean, Birds of Paradise is super strong, but it's super strong. So is Llanowar Elves, and we see Llanowar Elves played in Standard and stuff, but it's not like green is the unbeatable color because it has a 1-mana creature accelerator. So whether they should reprint birds is just, I think they could. It's just a matter of delicate balance. And no, the shade does not race. We were dead in the air. We were at 3 life and they had 4 flyers and we had no flying blocking. I just gave them the credit for turning birds sideways, I guess. And it does not have lifelink though. That's the key. Wrong shade. The shade got smaller and lifelink in the next set. All right, so here we are at 11-12. Maybe let's go try and make a run on that that weirdo deck, the stipulation deck we drafted yesterday, and then and see where that puts us on time. But let me. I don't need to break before that. Actually, I have some snacks here. I'll have some trail mix, protein to power through. Sorry, folks. The event ended, so we didn't get to finish that one. Sorry. Such as throwaway life on that account. And we'll go to draft view. Let's just jump back into RNA. Never, Cincy. You go do that on your own time. All right, we're going to jump into traditional draft Ravnica Allegiance. We are very close to capping. In fact, I should go probably look at our... But it doesn't really matter unless we open a Mythic, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see if we can keep the streak of good events going. Mirror March is pretty unplayable, but it's 20 gems, and y'all know I'm into the gems. I tend to take it first pick over just about everything. Love Grotesque Demise, love Law Mage's Binding, love gems. Now we'll make a real pick, and it's an interesting one. Depose Deploy. Chili Bee, probably the most solid monocolored card here. We got an IGI, but I think it's a little early for IGI. I don't want to move in there. Probably just Chili. Plague White, Gates, Sphinx, the Insight of the Sphinx, probably just Sphinx of New Prov. And yeah, we can check the print run. Somebody beat me to it yet? Sphinx. Sunder Shaman or Forbidding Spirit. Got to be a Sunder Shaman missing from here. So less tempted by the gate. I'm going to take the flyer that goes along with Chili. Final Payment is good. Slime Bind is good. Sky Tether, though, goes along nicely with what we've started with here. It often wheels. We could try to wheel the Sky Tether and take Demise or Slime Bind or Final Payment and see about an Esper deck. Esper is a very good path to take here. There's a Sauroform hybrid to pivot towards green, but we saw that green was being taken. Let's check the tether for... All right, Fireblade Artist and Rumbling Ruin on one side of Sky Tether, and Flames and Eyes Everywhere on the other. So it looks like probably Flames and Fireblade are gone from here. So let's stick with the Skies deck. And yeah, we can just go CTM. But if we do that, I still think we just want to try and wheel the CTM and take Slime Bind or Tether as being close. Easy Teasy wants to hit the Demise. I guess if you're going clear to mine, then you do want the Demise or the Payment because you're trying to do Acuity Trickery. Yeah, I know. So that's why I'm trying to have a conversation about it since I don't get to see your votes. No problem, Mark. Why not rankings? You mean why not voting? Because the software that powers it is not functioning with the new update properly. I think that's the answer to your question, Vaporkin, but maybe you're asking a different question than I think. Mark, however, is asking about the print runs, which I'll give the quick lowdown on. So uncommon print runs in Arena Draft are very rigid. They are strict, they are knowable, they are learnable, they are mappable. They have been mapped. And if you look up that map, which is just a list of cards, and you look up a card that is left in the pack at the uncommon slot, in this case, Sky Tether, you can see with absolute certainty the 4 cards, the 2 on either side of Sky Tether, that are possible to have been taken from this pack. And that really helps you understand what the bots upstream are doing. It seems like a lot of support for this Demise. And yeah, it's a little weird to me because we have such power on color. And like I'm with Short West, like it just feels like this is exactly what we're doing so far. So I'm taking the Tether. It might wheel, which is a good reason to not make that pick. But we can take this. Well, maybe the Eel is better, but this gives us the Courier gives us high alert outs, and Eel is just kind of generically good. So we'll go with the high alert angle. But let's check our print run again. So we're going to look at the print run, and we're going to look up Cavalcade. See the Smelt Ward Ignis is next to it, and on either side of those two we have Silhana Wayfinder and Spirit of the Spires. We hope it was the Wayfinder, because we want Spirit of the Spires for our deck. Yeah, I don't often end up in straight Skies, and we might not. We might still end up in Esper here, because I'm taking this gate here over like a Torment. Savant, fine. Got the 2 slot here. Generally does the job you want it to. And getting a Slime Bind here is strong, but so is the Thrall. And with the gate here, kind of like going for the Esper Skies. Here we have Orator or Vampire. We'll take the 2 over the 3. This is best 2 of 3. We can take the Embrace for where it's good. I don't like the Trumpeter. We're clearly, if anything, splashing black, so we'll take the Embrace for later there. Like here, I just want the Thought Collapse. Although this is quite signally. Fellhammer, welcome. Glad to have you. You want to take the white here? It is super strong, but we're pretty far off from being base black. I mean, what has to happen? Basically, we need to abandon blue as our baseline and decide that, like, yeah, I don't see white is correct here. We're going to take Thought Collapse. We're not playing that many great blue cards, but we're deep in blue. I mean, it's possible we get the Orzhov Flood here, and I really regret not taking the white there, but I think our chance, I think our net chance of the best deck was off of that pick. Another Azorius Locket or Vamp. These are both pretty replaceable. I'm going to take the Vampire now. I think Rakdos aggro. I mean, it's it can be an aggro Orzhov, but obviously aggro Orzhov is not the most common case. Here we have decent stuff for the deck we have going, but there's nothing so amazing here that I'm going to pass on 20 gems. So we're going to take the gems. Erstwhile is another 20 gems. We could take the Sphinx's Insight or the Obligation instead of the 20 gems. I'm taking the 20 gems. Note that Clear the Mind didn't wheel. Slime Bind could come around. Here's an Azorius Gate, though.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
That's funny. Thank you, Carpe. Yeah, we can take gems again. We have a pretty deep... We don't want to be too short on playables. But none of these are so amazing that we can't take the gems. Here's a final payment that I like adding to the deck over the Eel or the Messenger at this point. Really want to do the Black Splash now. First final payment over first Messenger. Let's check curve. Yeah, we don't have much at 4. Maybe we do want the Messenger. It's alright, Colin. We made a good pick. I mean, like, are you really just weeping in despair because we have a Tether instead of a Demise? It's, like, not that big a deal. And if we hadn't ended down the black path, we'd be much happier. Draconis is on Messenger. Yeah, I think I'm with you. We have no 4 flyers yet, and we don't want too many final payments anyway. We might not even be black, but here's a final payment we could take, but there's the Slime Bind that does a similar thing for less pain and more on color. Yeah, I'm actually going to do it. Just take the Slime Bind. Mungi? Exactly, that's the thing. We only have one. We're not necessarily black yet, so might as well keep on the stuff that we know we're going to be casting. I don't think we're going to be a Blade Brand deck. If we do find the High Alert, we might be sneaky about the Rally, so I'll take the Rally here over the Portal or the Humongulus, although Portal's not a bad sideboard card against... I mean, these types of decks are running rampant right now, and Portal is decent against the Tether Slimebind type stuff. So there's that. But we might even wheel the Portal. I'll take the Rally in hopes that we see a high alert. Here's a Demise. See, this is like a free Demise here, okay? There you go. There's a free Demise for you. Clam or Shaman. I don't think we care about either of these. Don't think we care about this either, though. So I'll take this in case we feel like we really need to shore up our 2s against a hyper aggro opponent. I'm going to take another Courier in hopes that we do find that high alert. And on that same feeling, we could take the Junk Troller, we get that Portal, Panther if we do end up splashing the black, which we're closer to now. These two are a strong pull. And we do have one of the gates already. I'm going to take the Junk Troller, but I don't think we necessarily start it. Pegasus is better for a future high alert, but I don't mind to clear the mind just as a matter of course in a deck like this now. Come around on that process. Just taking some vault progress. Wow, that was a lot of non-picks there at the end of the pack. Font of Agonies for the gems. Gate to shore up the splash. Pontiff to add to it. This is gems. I kind of want the gems, but we're running low on... We're a little short on playables. I'm going to pass up on that gem opportunity for the summary. This is really what we need. Like, I don't want to pass that. Admonition, Thrall, and Gate. Probably a Gate to support the splash. I know you want the Thrall, but I want to play the Thrall we have, so I'm going to take the Gate. Acuity is sad, because I'm pretty sure it means that the high alert was the other thing taken here. We can get 20 gems, we get another chance at a Thrall, or we get an Acuity. Take gems. Yeah, let's look at our instance. We have one. Just one, so we can't really do the Acuity. So we're really back on Thrall or Gems or Messenger. Oh, Demise. Sorry, I should have counted Demise. So we have 2. It's still not enough to kind of go in on this. All right, I'll do Thrall. I want the Gems, but I'll do Thrall. All right, now we're solidifying this splash nicely. We still want to wheel some playables, but I'm going to take the Gate. Speaking of playables, we can now juggle. I think with the 3 gates, I'd be willing to juggle here. I mean, what else are we taking? Another Vamp. Here we can get another Clear the Mind in case we end up in that matchup and want to bring in our own looping. Although if we end up in a Clear the Mind mirror or Clear the Mind situation, they're probably going to have more thought collapses and are going to out clear us. But I don't really want to quench, and I think we're past the point of being able to expect a high alert. So I also am not super interested in a 3rd Senate Courier without a known high alert. So, take this. All right. Is it even a high alert deck, you know? I mean, it might not even... This is what happens to me all the time. It's like, I think I'm a high alert deck, and then I look and I'm not. Like, we have 2 couriers. And, like, then nothing else... I mean, Messenger gets a little better, Sphinx gets worse, Chill doesn't change, and our Thralls don't change. Juggler gets worse. So it's like... I don't even, ironically, I don't even think we are. I think we probably just want an exposed to daylight for the main deck or the board. How's our curve? I think exposed does more for us for our win percentage than a high alert. I'm sad. If this had come earlier, I would have moved in harder. What'd you call, Wolf? I missed your called shot. I have to scroll back up. Yeah, I'll take the expose here, though. Check the sideboard for what? For high alert? Yeah, we have the junk troller and like the rally to battle, but tower defense if you want to get really cute. Oh, that's so sad. Are we IGI or Twilight Panther? IGI or Twilight Panther? Cat, IGI, 2 Panther votes and one IGI vote. This is enough aggro-y in its approach that I wouldn't mind the IGI. I think finish off after the Flyers. But this sure is nice to... We didn't get much in the way of Death Touch, and Death Touch is one of the ways the Skies deck functions. So I'll take the Panther. I'll take the Panther. Here's an IGI we can at least consider. We might even just want the Mungie over it, or the Croc for lack of Death Touch. We can at least get a big butt. But I'll take the IGI here. Might play this Locket. Not playing the Blade Brand, so we'll do that. And similar with the Footlight Fiend versus Quench versus Locket. Not playing a second Locket for sure. I guess we take Quench. Another Embrace for the board. And a Beast. 100 Gem Grind, not bad. And then here's the deck we got to work with. And looks like we need to add cards to it. Great. So we'll main deck Expose and a Locket. Oh, maybe not 2 Lockets. Maybe second Clear the Mind. Not the greatest addition, and a Junk Troller. All right, we may have pushed the gates and the rare drafting a little bit in terms of our ability to have a super functional main deck, but I still think we're okay here. Oh yeah, we have an IGI we could throw in. Tell you what, I need a little bio break, so let me take that and you figure out what our final configuration is, and I'll be right back. Hey all. Let's see, we have a suggestion to cut one of the CTMs. I like that. I was kind of desperately putting this in before we saw the IGI, and I'm fine with trying to finish with one IGI here. I like one though, is fine. I don't think we have to play Rally. I think this is good. Is there anything just embarrassingly terrible in here? Like, not really. It's a little underpowered, but not without its tools. Too many swamps. Might run one swamp for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With a locket, though. I think we can get away with 4 sources. And then that gives us 8 white and 7 blue. There's 8 blue, 9 white. So now we got 994, which seems good. I like it. And we could run a... No, I don't want to run a Caracal unless... I'll bring it out of the board. Oh, now we gotta name it, and... I guess we'll put the Sphinx there. It's pretty. Actually, Chili's the first card we drafted for real. Mesper. I like you guys are trying to be on the theme of the deck, and I'm just like bagging on it. We're gonna go to Battlefield. We're going to get the record correct. Format needs updating. We are RNA B03. All right, we'll keep that and maybe quench something. Pigeons is good. I'll go with Orator over leaving up Quench. And in fact, we'll go Courier as well and have Quench on 4. If we get lucky and draw another one of our 2s, we'll have 2 plays on 4. Yeah, I almost wish they made every set with gate cycles. Alright, we'll send this out. We could also do Panther and Quench now. That does give us a new option. Nah, we'll still get something good with Quench, and we can do Panther Quench next turn. Heck, we can do Panther Quench, activate Panther next turn if they happen to play something on the ground here. It looks like a mirror developing. When I see that Concordia Pegasus, I expect a high alert from the other side. What might be the... This could be a summary judgment they're holding up. A duelist. Yeah, we'll counter anything here. Although I want to do it with 2 blue. So that we have the Panther... Not that Panther activation matters, but, you know... Being disciplined when it doesn't matter is probably better for your practice anyway. Yeah, I can cover... Remind me after this match, and we can talk about the economic approach to the game and how I'm pacing it at a draft a day on this account for free. Looks like there could be a stalled out battle in the sky. How are we going to get through here? Skybind and some removal, I suppose. I guess the Panther starts getting through on the Death Touch. Threat. Yeah, Demise would be great. Anything to take out one of those flyers so that this Thrall can start getting through. Slime Bind would be great because we could bind one and kill the other for a 2-for-1. Oh yeah, I called the high alert when we saw the Pegasus, so this is definitely a high alert deck. I should, you know... Thank you, Strength. Appreciate that. Wujo's not wrong when he says mostly I maintain a draft a day through a high win percentage. My win rate is about 60%, and your win rate is going to dictate heavily what your rate of return is and your pace of play is if you don't want to pay. That's the thing. It's not about are you infinite, because you can be infinite on Arena if you never win a match. You just have to complete your quests while you lose and use that gold to create gems and use those gems to do what you want. It just takes a long time if you never win, right? So the draft a day target is a nice target to shoot for. It's clean messaging. And I think it's about where we're at. We're a little better than that on this account. One thing to remember is you basically get a draft every 4 days for free. If you can win a little bit. Like if you can grind 1,250 gold a day, you'll get a draft every 4 days. So it's about making enough on those other 3 days to continue to be able to draft while you wait for your freebie. Okie doke. We had this. What did I ask for? A Slime Bind to blow out the double block on the Grasping Thrall, and we got there. So great. We could probably send the messenger and they would double block the Thrall. That's an interesting point here. We could send in Courier, Messenger, Panther, and Thrall. And then our worst case is that they decide to go ahead and double block the messenger. And we have to decide if we want to Slime Bind then. I think it's worth it. I think they're going to double block the Thrall. That's what I'm going to risk here. And the fail case is just that we have a block against the messenger that we didn't want to have happen. So they played took a cautious line that didn't require us to use any of our stuff. I suppose I should have made the courier vigilant, although maybe it represents something scarier than we actually have on accident. Honestly, didn't think it was going to matter. Didn't think I thought there was going to be dead birds at the end of that attack. So, but I should not presume to know perfectly what Oppo is going to do, and could have considered the result of a no block and how it changes. You know, then I would have come up with the courier vigilance. So. What am I doing on those other 3 days? I'm drafting with the resources that I have acquired with winning, you know? Exactly. But in some ways, my draft a day is theoretical, but it's mathematically sound, which I'll explain later. But basically, we have not drafted literally once a day on this account, but if we were to, without even grinding any more gold, don't give us any more quests, don't give us any more daily gold, but if we simply played out the remaining drafts that we have banked on our gem and golds on the account, the prizes from those and so on would produce a large number of future drafts that would that represent a better than one a day rate. All right, well, let's not make that mistake this time. I think we're doing the same thing, though. Wait, why is that tapped? I didn't mean to tap that. That's weird. It shouldn't matter, we can still do everything, but I didn't mean to tap extra like that. That's weird. It is asking a lot, Cold Grits. It's asking basically disciplined, constant grinding. Don't let days go by where you don't get at least your 4 win gold, and then have a 60+% win rate. That's how I'm doing it. Yeah, I just didn't mean to. I'm talking and tapping, and that was probably a result there. So Oppo's wondering why we're tanking. It's because I'm yammering, Oppo. Don't worry about it. But I will make the same offers. On the free-to-play account, my win rate combined, because your win rates are different, best of 1, best of 3. But the win rate combined on those accounts, on this account, is about 62%. So we've been playing a little above average on this account. And if you look at all of my accounts total, they average about 60.5%. Huh. All right, so now they're going for that double block, and that makes me want to use the slime bind now. We'll go ahead and death touch here and slime bind the messenger. Sandbag the land. there it is. That could hurt. We knew it was in there. Tried to find our counter spell for it, but didn't find it. We do have an exposed to daylight if we can survive a few more turns here, which we're on pace to do. I'm happy to trade off for the veteran. It's a real bummer that the high alert nullifies 2 of our removal spells. I guess we'll take 3 to be able to kill the district, because the other thing we could do is, yeah, and then the courier survives to block the messenger in the future, so let's do this. If they have another slime bind, we're in pretty big trouble, but we already were, so I'm not really playing around that stuff here. Night Arbiter, delivering the pain. Yeah, but Oppo has been a little overly conservative with all of their attacks, or with attacks several times this game, so it fits the pattern of conservatism that we've seen from Oppo, at least. And yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Doesn't help us with our big problem. Doesn't help us with the Humongous either, so maybe not okay. Maybe this is actually a pretty lousy draw. If we're not blocking with the Spirit, we could get in for 1. And I guess we're not, so... Oh no, it deals, Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Just wasting mana. What are you doing? What up, Rocket? Rocket! Come here, buddy. Dovin.
Let's add this battle to your
Done.
record of bad decisions. I constantly seek to innovate.
Well, put the Thrall in front of the Humongous if it comes our way. Not very interesting magic when you can't interact with anything going on. I think we're kind of out of luck here. Maybe do we even care about... Yeah, if Rocket would come down. Maybe I'll speak to... I mean, get Rocket for a farewell wave here after this match. I do need to move on today. My busy week is not yet complete.
This is no mere trinket.
Never seen anybody go ultimate with Dovin in Limited. do another chump, though. Seeing as how we have to. Yeah, we were just never really given a chance in this one. Let's see what we can do in the sideboard against the mirror. I don't feel like we can run removal that is completely blanked by their central card, which they may have more than one of. So I put in Caracal. What else did I put in? Something else had to come in. Clear the Mind. Oh, that could come out. Eyes everywhere? What are we talking about? Oh. You're talking about something else. Okay, well, what are we doing? We could also... Is this fine? 9, 14, 15, 17... This isn't particularly great here. Oh, Sky Tether is still in. That's the problem. I knew that there was something wrong with my count. So I could bring in the second Clear the Mind or Drill Bit. Maybe Drill Bit. It's a little aggressive given it's just a splash. But yeah, Drill Bit gets rid of it from hand. And that makes me want to go add a little extra black, though. Got there. No! No, 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 no. That's not how this works. Well... We'll get their high alert. If they have it. I don't think we're here for junk. Rough keep, 5-1, but I still can't see going to 5 there. Alright, found some white mana. Could drop the Panther, but let's go ahead and bid it right now. Yeah, I think Protected Dovin is good enough to ditch here. Cool, we have Collapse and the kitty. Note that they seem to have changed. I don't know if this has always been the case or when this happened, but like Twilight Panther technically has an activation, but it's passing through it to save time, which is a good design. I'm letting this resolve. I just don't think that's what we want to thought Collapse. But it means that you can't rely on your black activation to disguise your, to bluff for you or whatever. All right, do that. Flooding out a bit after keeping 5 lands and 1 spell. We done a couple spells, though. Sorry for my stretching, but I need to stretch. Yeah, I think we will collapse that. We can't survive that kind of card disadvantage at this point, I don't think. But we need some help off the top, or this is not gonna be a particularly long match. Looks like they're offering the Panther for the doggy, and we'll take it. We're not going to get the Panther. We're going to get the doggy. All right.
All right, everyone. Chill.
At least we win in the air for now, but we still need some additional support or we just lose the race. We know what we want that for. Oh, that's a good point. I should have blocked the Panther on that front. That's a good point. That was a little punt that I just didn't notice. And there you go. Like, I love that streaming raises my own awareness of where I'm making mistakes. Because I don't think if I were playing today without streaming, that mistake never would have occurred to me. So Cincy and Draconis had it, and I missed it. Well, there you go. I mean, that's what's beautiful about it, though. It's like, if I am imparting good stuff to viewers, know that the collective brain power of the viewers imparts great stuff for me. So it's a mutually beneficial effort to improve ourselves at this crazy game. I'm getting a little aggressive with the attack. As I said, we're kind of losing the race, but I'm also not ready to give up on it yet. I think we can take that attack, see what happens, and then maybe get more defensive when we get nothing to help the Chillbringer on untap. All right. I'm gonna get them good with the mid-combat expose, though. They're gonna get a big smack in here. We're gonna untap and stay back on D, and then try and get that messenger nice and eaten, or possibly the veteran, whatever we think. And we can still do it with the courier. Although it remains to be seen if they'll still attack. Probably so, because I think they're willing to trade the 10th District or the Syndicate Messenger for the Chillbringer. So I still expect an attack here, but this allows us to do some blocking in the meantime and not take as much damage. got the attack as expected, and we're definitely going to take out the Air Force here and see if the Chillbringer can get it done in the race.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Thank you, Cincy. Appreciate that. That seems fine as well. I'm not sure what they're thinking about. It's a little too early to chump. Aren't you just taking this? All right. That's one way to spin a race a little more in your direction. Do we leave one back to block? We can't block this. We'd basically be saying they get an extra 2 in. I think we don't leave it back to block. I think we just leave the courier as our blocker here and try to get this race done in the sky. They block a 3 here and go to 7, and then we're presenting lethal next turn. Come on, game 3. Exploding Karn. One, two, three, four, 5. I don't see any reason to block anything when we're presenting lethal here. They could have an answer. We'll still play like they do, of course, but we're going to go for it. Oh, that's right. I must be doing that. I'm thinking like, that's what I did before. Okay, I see how I'm trying to tap for that incorrectly. Is it enough? All right, game 3. Well, let's see if we can pull this one out. I feel like Oppo's deck is a little better than ours. And especially when the context of it makes us ditch our Slimebind and Sky Tether. So many pennies! Good. Yeah, I think we just run it back. I don't think so. I don't like the rally. Maybe it's not as bad as the worst card we're playing, though. Our bottom end is not very impressive. 5 landers are prone to flood, but we have to keep all 3 of our colors and good stuff to do at 4 and 5. Woof. Exactly what we didn't want. Stock with the land now deck. Alright, something on 3. We got a 3, 4, 5 now. Trouble is, there are a lot of high toughness, Knight Arbiter, no blocking. It's like, what? I just don't see how we're kind of getting them with that. I was going to happily play the Junk Troller, but we'll obviously much more happily play the Sphinx. Glad that dude is showing up, or that creature is showing up. We got Chillbringer if they don't take care of the Sphinx right now. If they just drop a creature, we get in for a lot. That qualifies as taking care of the Sphinx. We do get Juggles? Yeah, we'll do Juggles. Sad about our Sphinx. That's a good follow for after Chillbringer pressure. It was a deliberate no vigilance. It not only doesn't matter on defense in the matchup, but we do have twos we could have drawn, so I decided not to do that. Well, it's not great, but we'll chill that. There, we'll chill that. No, we'll kill that, chill that. Kill that, chill that. Will that. Mill that. I don't know. Nice to have the Expose ready for this particular matchup. We don't have a 2-spell turn here. Unless we want to expose the Slime Bind. Maybe we do that. How about that? Yeah, let's expose the Slime Bind. And then demise the Knight Arbiter. Clear the mind. No, we don't need clear the mind. That's just wheel spinning. Bottom of the deck is a perfect place for it, actually. Could just get rid of the doggy, but no, I like, yeah, let's get rid of this Knight Arbiter and apply some pressure. A land does not give us 2 spells next turn, although a land would give us Vigilant Courier and a spell. The Juggler is now stopped, but our flyers aren't, which is the main thing. And the IGI is still looking good here. We get to lock it into IGI. I said we wouldn't have 2 spells this turn, but a lock it says, aha! I had been thinking Chillbringer. Maybe we're not supposed to 2-spell. It might still be correct to Chillbringer now and 2-spell IGI next turn. Let's take a think about that after combat here. This probably represents more damage, though, right? Because we get 5 off the IGI. Yeah, IGI represents lethal, so let's do that. Ooh. It's a little nerve-wracking. But they might maybe trying to represent Quench. Whatever. If they quench this, tip the cap and beat him with Chillbringer. I think it was just Watchdog. Yeah, we can. All right, we got there. don't call it a comeback. Now call it a comeback. We were down 1 and we won 2. And that felt really good. Obviously, I'm not super thrilled with our deck, given how I named it. But as I said, as we left deck building, it's got tools to win. We can make it happen. And we did. We got there. Felt really outclassed in game 1 and was like, well, it's going to be an uphill battle. But we found that exposed to daylight was just mission critical both times we won. Don't have time to finish this draft today. I may... So my family's out of town, but like I said, I'm going to give myself over to my friends who are in town, which may keep me from streaming despite my freedom. But it also does mean I have the ability, like, it's rough for me to stream at 7 p.m. or something. We have a small house, and it's like, the family doesn't need me pontificating about magic in their ears while everybody's trying to relax. But with them gone, I can stream anytime. So I may hop on and finish this draft over the weekend at some point. And if so, keep an eye out. If you're not, if you don't have me, notices when I go live, because you always know when I go live at 9 a.m., you may want to turn that on now, because I might be around for you sometime this weekend. Speaking of being around for, who is around for us now? Also, as I start to wrap up here, let me know if there's any AMAs. If I promise to talk about anything that I didn't talk about, I will get to that. But I want to see who we can raid and start thinking about that plan. Where's Mobius? Maybe... Actually, I need to hit Professor Knox back. I know it's always kind of funny for someone raiding with 40 people into someone streaming thousands, but it's always still appreciated. So we're going to get Noxy back for his great raid last week that bumped up my numbers quite a bit that day. Appreciated it. We could do Siggy too, but I'm going to stick with Nox because, oh yeah, I'm supposed to introduce you to Rocket. We can say hi to Rocket before I go. We can do that. I do want to go like this though first. Okay, let me. There was a request to say hi to Rocket, so I'll go grab him and we'll say hi, and then I'll get the raid set up for Professor Knox though, and we'll say hi to Rocket and then raid. Be right back. Here you go. One of the world's foremost napping experts and home security enthusiast, Rocket Allen Spain. Yes, his midnight